Hello, everybody. This week we covered three amazing news articles and we had really in depth, thoughtful, meaningful conversations about the state of pop culture affairs, what it means for something to be truly cinema, and just life in general. Unfortunately, my microphone had what we in the biz called a bad case of the Mondays, so you'll never hear any of that. Anyway, we're going to jump back into our main topic. Enjoy! So, moving on to our main topic of this episode, a continuation from our last, we're going to be talking about the Golden Globe TV nominations because there was a lot. So, we'll start with the best television series in a drama, The Crown from Netflix, Lovecraft Country from HBO, The Mandalorian Disney Plus, Ozark Netflix, and Ratched Netflix. What do y'all think of that so far? Because, going into this whole like streaming quality issue, 3 of these are Netflix and 2 are something else. So what do y'all think about that?
4 out of 5 are streaming platforms.
Is HBO not a streaming platform? I guess not.
Well,
yeah.
I guess, but it kind of is. You can watch Lovecraft County and like HBO shows as they come out if you have HBO Max,
Maybe it's
right?
because I'm a youngster, but I've never considered HBO streaming, like not a streaming service. Yeah, I know it's like premium cable or whatever, but like I've always streamed everything I've watched. It airs at the same time as it when it's supposed to be airing on the premium cable channel, so
right.
It's pretty much streaming.
I've only seen The Mandalorian and a little bit of Lovecraft County. However, Lovecraft County is really, really good. The Mandalorian is also really, really good. But Lovecraft County is, I think, just fantastic. I love a good horror, and I think it's just a lot of stories that we don't necessarily that haven't really been given the limelight, and especially in the Golden Globes or just TV in general. So Lovecraft County.
Country.
I'm not dyslexic. You can't prove it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I mean, that's my vote personally because I really appreciated Lovecraft Country, and I thought it was really well done. I haven't seen The Crown or Ozark or Ratched, and I know those are really well done and well produced shows. But I think The Mandalorian just might have too much of this cloud around it right now that I mean I don't think it's gonna necessarily tank its chances, but it's like it was already didn't have the best chances to begin with because it's a franchise show. And now stuff might continue to stand in its way. So my vote's also for Lovecraft Country.
And like last time, when we're picking up our what we think is going to win, a lot of these are going to be from the heart, just based off of what we enjoyed. Because oh my goodness, media is subjective. We all really like different things and respond to different things, and also we're not experts. So like, don't use this show as to post your bets. You'll lose so much money.
So out of all these shows, I've only seen The Crown and Lovecraft Country. I have watched the first 2 seasons of Ozark and actually dropped it because I thought it was not that good. So I haven't seen the third one. All I know about Ratched is someone described it as the sequel no one wanted. And also, you guys have talked about The Mandalorian. I'm going to go for The Crown. Because it is like the most expensive show Netflix makes, and if they are going to pour money into anything, it's going to be that one. And also, I do have some issues with Lovecraft Country. I think it suffers from Westworld syndrome, wherein that it has excellent performances, excellent cinematography, talented creatives, and just fascinating topics. And occasionally, it reaches at some points it reaches those points where it is actually like engaging and outstanding, but most of the time it's a goddamn mess. And it's just so scattered. And it would be like, oh my god, Ruby got. I'm so angry about how they treated Ruby in this show. It was so bullshit. But like Journey Smollett, Jonathan Majors, they are like I think one of them's up in the running for best lead,
I
and I
believe
would
so, yeah.
100% give it to them. But like, it's just messy. I wanted to love it so bad.
All right, so we got 2 for Lovecraft Country and 1 for The Crown, which will bring us to Best Performance by an Actress in a Television Series Drama. Olivia Colman for The Crown, Jodie Comer for Killing Eve, Emma Corrin for The Crown, Laura Linney for Ozark, and Sarah Paulson for is it Ratched or Ratched?
I think it's Ratched. It's because it's a prequel to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. So she's playing
interesting.
Nurse Ratched.
Oh, interesting. I did
Yeah.
not know that about the show.
Yeah,
so
it's a
Yeah.
Nurse Ratched origin story, which we needed, I guess.
Yeah, like I think I said it was the sequel no one asked for. I think I meant the prequel story no one asked for.
I guess I'm just gonna start with my vote, which is I'll just say I haven't seen any of these shows, so I'm gonna go for Laura Linney because my partner has seen Ozark and he says that she does a great job. So I'll give it to her.
Laura Linney and also Julie Garner. Like what's really awesome about Ozark, it has some great female talent on the camera, and Laura Linney is certainly contributing to that. So I don't blame you for going for that. That's a really good one. Killing Eve this season kind of sucked. It was like pretty mid. It was like not great but not terrible. So even though I think Jodie Comer is great, I can't do it. I can't nominate it in good conscience. Emma Corrin and Olivia Colman. This, if you don't know, this season of The Crown was incredibly female centric, heavy with the stories of Princess Diana and Margaret Thatcher, and just like seeing these two very different women like have their ideologies sort of challenging the Queen was incredibly fascinating. It was a really well-rounded season of television. So I would give it to either of them if I had to choose one, just out of just Olivia Colman. Yeah, let's give it to Olivia Colman. Emma Corrin would be good because she is young and she was very good for the role. But also, I think Olivia Colman will. I feel very, very. Yeah. I feel good about that one.
What do you think, Faith?
I'm gonna give it to Jodie Comer because I love her character in Killing Eve.
What do you think of this season? Out of curious.
I haven't seen this season. I watched the first 2 seasons I love.
Okay, first season was great. Season 2 wasn't bad, but it was pretty good still. And then season 3, I just felt like it just keeps going downhill.
I have heard that from just some of my other friends who watch it, which is also what's kind of kept me from jumping back into it because I love this show and don't want it ruined for me. However, since we're judging performances, I assume that unless something happened, Jodie Comer continues to be just entrancing and wonderful and makes that
good.
character.
She's certainly eye candy, like not in the derogatory way. That was poor wording, but like in like what she does on screen, how electric she is, it stays. It's just like what makes her character, what makes Villanelle is lost, and she plays it adequately. I just don't think the character is the same is what the character feels like it could be.
Well, that's fair. However, I still love Villanelle, so yeah, I give it to her.
So 1 for Olivia Colman, 1 for Jodie Comer, and 1 for Laura Linney. Dope. So we'll go.
You'll get it next time, Sarah.
Best performance by an actor in a television series drama: Jason Bateman for Ozark, Josh O'Connor for The Crown, Bob Odenkirk for Better Call Saul, Al Pacino in Hunters, and Matthew Reyes for Perry Mason. I
don't
again
give it to
have
Al Pacino.
not seen these
don't
shows.
Give it to Al Pacino.
I saw the first episode of Hunters. I don't think we get introduced to his character so much in that. The first episode, I have been meaning to go back and watch it because I do like the premise. As far as like a show goes, I don't think it would probably win him this Golden Globe. So I'm a fan of Bob Odenkirk, so I'm gonna give it to. But I guess Jason Bateman also does pretty good in Ozark. So
Matthew Rhys, who you might know from the TV show The Americans. So because the only reason I watched Perry Mason was also because of Juliet Rylance, but also mainly because of Matthew Rhys, and he is very good in it. He's the only really great thing about it, honestly. So I don't want to give it to Matthew Rhys, but not to like start simping for The Crown. But Josh O'Connor is also quite excellent. Uh, like it is a very like he plays Prince Charles, and if you know who Prince Charles is, he plays a notorious shithead, and it's very good. He plays it well. So I would like it to go to Mr. O'Connor because I think he did a good job playing a piece of shit. Probably one of the most famous pieces of shit in modern history.
you know what? I'll probably give it to him too, because of The Crown's long-standing reputation of just casting quality actors. So I'll give it to Josh O'Connor. What do you think, Faith?
I'm gonna give it because he's a legend, guys. It has to be Al Pacino.
Amazing.
Come on, he's 80.
Please don't give it to Al Pacino.
I'm giving it to Al Pacino. I'm gonna make eye contact with you the entire time that I do it. I'm gonna go up on stage. I'm gonna be, and the winner. I forgot to tell you guys, I am the one who's giving out the award for Best Actor in a Drama Series in the Golden Globes. I don't know if I told you that, but I am gonna make direct eye contact with you, Derek, specifically, while I announce Al Pacino. I'm not gonna read the card.
Do you
I'm
even
just
know
gonna
what
say
I
it's
look
Al
like?
Pacino. No, I don't. I do not.
Cool.
I'll look you up on Facebook. I stalker.
Okay.
It's the 21st century. This is what Scorsese was talking about.
Scorsese warned us about this.
I will. Well, if I don't know what you look like, I'll make eye contact with Martin Scorsese instead, cool. as your surrogate.
So 2 for Josh O'Connor and 1 for Al Pacino. We'll see who comes out on top. So we'll go into Best Television Series, Musical or Comedy. Emily in Paris from Netflix, The Flight Attendant from HBO Max, The Great from Hulu, Schitt's Creek from Pop TV, and Ted Lasso from Apple TV. I'm gonna just start my what most of this episode is gonna be, which is me praising Schitt's Creek. So my vote's on Schitt's Creek, because that amazing.
I hear it's amazing.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I highly recommend you watch it. It's super bingeable because it's only like 25-minute episodes, and you'll go through it really fast because you just don't want to stop watching. It is. All 6 seasons are on Netflix, and that's what's been keeping me sane these past few weeks of watching it, because it's just such a quality show. So that's my vote. This is also my endorsement for Schitt's Creek. It was an absolute delight to watch.
I heard of Schitt's Creek back in 2015, and then I literally heard nothing else about it. So I assumed it got canceled. And then cut to like last year, it got nominated. It just swept the Emmys, and I was what the hell? And so I know I need to watch it. But the episode count is quite an intimidating thing. And if you know me, I watch way too much TV. It's hard to actually catch up on shit. I know I need to like Better Call Saul. I know I need to catch up on that. I want to talk about 3 shows on here. So Faith, if you want to say something, I will probably say something for a good while.
It'll be a quick thing. It is. Did you guys? There's a comedian on Twitter. For like forever, she's been making jokes that she's the creator of Emily in Paris to shit on Emily in Paris because she doesn't like it. And she's just like as the creator of Emily in Paris, blah 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 blah, like just a joke on it. But she, when it was nominated for a Golden Globe, she was like, as the creator of Emily in Paris, I do not think it should be nominated for a Golden Globe at all. And all these reporters,
oh my
god, Yeah, that was satire
no.
because it got, and like someone like saw that and was like, "Oh my god, the creator of Emily in Paris hates the show," and they screenshotted the tweet and like hyperlinked it, and it was just showing up in all of these articles of just responses to the Golden Globes of like the creator of Emily
That's
in Paris
incredible,
doesn't,
actually.
and it was very funny. She bamboozled a lot of people, and for that reason, I'm gonna give it to Schitt's Creek.
All right. First of all, first point, the
Love
flight
it.
attendant. It was a good show. It was actually a really good show, and actually, I put it at like fifth runner-up on my top 10 list. It's like an exploration of like a hyper party girl alcoholism when it goes with like alcoholism, and it takes a really silly premise, and then it becomes very serious and becomes very grounded. And Kaylee Cuoco is very compelling in this series. Second of all, The Great. I didn't think people remembered The Great because it was a good show. But I also it was very niche, and also I was like, how the hell did like it got like three nominations. So I looked up who the writer was, and the co-writer of The Great is the dude who made The Favorite. So that makes sense. That
Okay.
explains why it's here now. Because honestly, it's a pretty niche show. I don't think a lot of people watched it. It didn't get like rapturous praise. It got like some praise, but it wasn't like universal acclaim. So I didn't expect it here. And now for my final point, Ted Lasso is the best fucking show this last year. I'm spoiling my video, so if you haven't watched my video on my YouTube channel, plug-in, it is the best show that it is the best, not just the best comedy. It is the best show that like this is the best. It's the best show that happened on, and it was on Apple freaking TV. You know, like what the hell? If you don't know what this show is, drop everything, watch it. We'll finish this podcast episode, but you need to watch Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso is this story about an American football coach who goes over to the UK to teach their version of football, which we would call soccer. And it starts out with this very basic fish out of water premise, and then it just blossoms into this. Like part of it is just it's really like Ted Lasso's whole point is that he is there to make the team better and everyone on the team better. So he has this really infectious, like almost like a Ned Flanders-esque personality, but it doesn't ever get old because he's not like a fool. He's very smart and he is very kind, and it's just like the show just because of that. There's very little actual like legitimate conflict. The show doesn't like find its drama or its comedy in the conflict. It finds its drama and comedy in solving those conflicts, and that's what I found really compelling about it. And also all the female characters, like they feel like well-rounded and whole, even though this is a show about male soccer, and it's just like so good. This is like the only show last year that I actually rewatched like 4 to I think 5 times, and I was just like, this is so good. Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm sold on it. I'll definitely check it out.
If you don't care about Apple TV Plus, just get a free freaking trial for 7 days, whatever. I don't give a shit. Just watch it, and you can watch maybe the other shows on Apple TV Plus if you feel compelled. I don't know. I depending on who the person I don't know really which ones I can recommend to you. But Ted Lasso is like hands down like 100% universal recommend, no matter who you are. Please just watch this show. It's good. Okay, I'm done.
So what is your final vote? Does that have your vote?
Oh no, I'm voting for Emily in Paris. No, of course I'm voting for Ted Lasso.
All right, cool. So 1 for Ted Lasso and 2 for Schitt's Creek. Fate, have you seen Schitt's Creek or?
Yes, I have. Can I just say how much I love Catherine O'Hara in Schitt's Creek?
A goddess.
Like all her. The acting in that show is phenomenal, but she acts circles around everyone else in every scene that she's in, just by being weird and kooky, and just she just embodies this weird, crazy rich lady so perfectly, and gives her so much depth where like she really doesn't, like, the character doesn't need it, and like, but she's able to give it her just and make her just so well-rounded and so just magnetic. I don't know why that turned into me loving on Catherine O'Hara. Schitt's Creek is great.
I mean, it'll probably continue because she's nominated as well, I believe.
Oh, is she?
Yes,
I think so.
Sick.
So I guess, Derek, I will definitely check out Ted Lasso, and you should definitely check out Schitt's Creek. Is what
it's
we're getting
going to
at.
happen this year
So,
sometime.
going on to this again, beautiful segue. Best performance by an actress in a television series, musical, or comedy: Lily Collins from Emily in Paris, Kaylee Cuoco from The Flight Attendant, Elle Fanning in The Great, Jane Levy for Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, and Catherine O'Hara for Schitt's Creek. I'm just gonna say, and I'm just gonna give it to Catherine because you're absolutely right, Faith. She was so good in that show. Her accent, her mannerisms, the way she rocked every outfit, she just definitely took this character and made it completely her own, and it was so amazing to watch.
Yeah,
that's me. That has my vote.
Yeah, I already said my piece without knowing it, but she's literally, it's one of the few characters that usually when she's on screen, I will actually be laughing out loud.
Absolutely. I can never say
good.
baby now. I will always say bebe.
Yeah.
Fabulous stuff. Okay, so is your vote also for Catherine O'Hara?
Oh, of course.
Dope. So 2 for Catherine. What do you think, Derek?
Has anyone seen Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist? Because I actually just remembered it exists.
I have not. I've been meaning to, kind of. I just haven't, gotten the chance. But I've liked what I've seen in terms of, just performance-wise. I think it's a pretty funny concept.
No, I like, but I've been intrigued with the concept. I think it's on Peacock, right? Is it on Peacock?
So
yeah,
I think so.
I got rid of Peacock because they canceled Brave New World, and I was like, bad freaking move.
Aww.
That was Peacock's first original show, like not separate from NBC or whatever. It was their first original like streaming show, and they cancel it. So I realized, okay, you're not worth investing. But like,
Right.
maybe I'll get another free trial. Anyway, my vote is going to go to, I'll just say it in 2 words: Bazinga.
Good old Kaylee. I've heard that she did do a fantastic job in The Flight Attendant.
She is very good. Also,
I might actually just we might just check that out because it's just got 1 season.
It's very
so far.
stylish. The Flight Attendant is very stylish, and that's actually one of the things I really liked about it. Like, it wasn't just comedic timing in terms of the performances, but also like how it's edited. I found it really compelling. I also do want to shout out, even though I'm not going to vote out, Elle Fanning in The Great. I think The Great is it's a better ensemble than actually relying on all the individual actors. Like Nicholas Hoult is amazing. I think what is her name? Like her last name's Fox. She's also great in it. There's a bunch of good honestly, it's just a really fun ensemble comedy. So I kind of feel bad just giving it to Elle Fanning. But I do 100% feel like Kaylee Cuoco carried The Flight Attendant, so that's why I'm voting for Kaylee Cuoco.
All right.
Yeah. Check out both of those shows.
1 for Kaylee and 1 for Catherine. And I'll definitely check out The Great.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. It's very raunchy. Huzzah!
So we'll go into best performance by an actor in a television. Huh?
Real quick, can I ask a dumb question?
Yes.
Okay, so Eugene Levy and Daniel Levy created Schitt's Creek together, and they're father and son duo, right?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is Jane Levy in that family?
I don't know.
Is Golden Globe nominated
for
a different show?
No, I don't know. I don't believe so. Because the girl who plays Twyla, Sarah Levy, is actually their daughter. So she's Dan's sister.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have. They don't have other siblings.
I just found this quote. Asked about her relationships to Dan and Eugene Levy. She says, "My last name is Levy. Theirs is Levy."
Is it Dan Levy? Who knows? Oh, I need to watch more.
So it's Jane Levy and Dan and Eugene Levy.
Okay, so she's Levy and they're Levy. I got you.
We've been doing this wrong. We need to start over.
Every day is a classroom.
So that moves us on to the best performance by an actor in a television series, musical, or comedy: Don Cheadle in Black Monday, Nicholas Hoult in The Great, Eugene Levy in Schitt's Creek, Jason Sudeikis in Ted Lasso, and Rami Youssef in Rami. So now that I'm seeing that Jason Sudeikis he plays Ted Lasso, I'm assuming, that sounds very delightful. So now that I see that Jason Sudeikis is Ted Lasso, I think that's really great, and I'll definitely check that out. But my vote is, I don't know. I want to say Eugene Levy because they have swept the Emmys, just like you said, including him. But I also want to give it to Rami Youssef because even though I haven't seen the show Rami, I have heard many good things about it, and that's definitely
it's on
someone
season
that
2, right?
Yeah, I believe so. So I've seen good things in terms of trailers and like the performances. It's probably something I'm gonna check out soon enough. So I'm gonna give it to him. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna go to Eugene Levy because Schitt's Creek is just a wonderful show, and he does such a good job as Johnny Rose.
I went to check out Rami. There was a period of I think this back a couple years ago when Hulu legitimately had a bad year. I think Rami was one of the sole good highlights of Hulu's output that year.
Yeah.
So I might have to check out Rami out. I didn't think Hulu had a good year until this past year. But Nicholas Hoult was great. I still think it works better as an ensemble. So if it does win anything, I would like it to win Best Comedy, but I don't want it to because of Ted Lasso. Anyway, speaking of Ted Lasso, I think Jason Sudeikis, I don't know how to pronounce his name, is excellent as the titular character. It is a good ensemble, like Hannah Waddingham, Jeremy Swift, Brendan Hunt, Brett Goldstein. They're all fantastic performers, but Jason steals the show, and rightfully so, I think. So I will give it to Jason because he also does the Carlton twice, and it's great. He does the Carlton twice in this show. He deserves it. He deserves the win. What are you talking about?
That sounds delightful. Well, what do you think, Faith?
As much as I love Eugene Levy in Schitt's Creek, I actually gotta go with Jason Sudeikis, even though I have yet to see Ted Lasso for this. I have been hearing a lot of really good things just since it came out, and just a lot of buzz, and specifically how good and thoughtful Jason Sudeikis is. And something I've been saying, I think I've said it before in the show, is I love seeing traditionally comedic actors get a chance to do something a little bit more serious and a little bit more in depth, because for the most part, they usually nail it, because comedy and drama are this really fine line. And I think in order to be a really good comedic actor, you have to understand drama and vice versa. So I really like seeing comedians get recognition like that. So I'm hopeful for Jason Sudeikis.
Cool.
I do want to talk about it real quick now. The 5th episode of Ted Lasso, which is called Tan Lines, is the first really dig your claws into Ted Lasso's character, and I rewatched it. Of course I have. And Jason, what he does with his character, not just in the writing, but also how he performs and emotes, even though he is this sort of happy, bubbly character, this deep sadness going on into his life. It is very well written and well performed. So yeah, yes.
Well, dope. Yeah, like I said, I'll check it out. 12 episodes is pretty hefty. So 2 for Jason Sudeikis in Ted Lasso, and I'm gonna say 1 for
if you want to
Rami
do a
Youssef
Ted Lasso
in
watch,
Rami.
with your WandaVision series, I would be down to join you for that.
So that will move us into Best Television Limited Series, Anthology Series, or Motion Picture Made for Television. Normal People on Hulu, The Queen's Gambit on Netflix, Small Axe from Amazon Studios, The Undoing from HBO, and Unorthodox from Netflix. I'm just going to start and give it to The Queen's Gambit. I have seen that show twice. I absolutely love it. It was so well done. I listened to the audiobook, and it's a show I will definitely be rewatching again because it was, not without flaws, of course, but that's something, a conversation for a different time. But I really, really love that show. So that's got my vote.
I mean, keeping in mind that, again, I know nothing about the Golden Globes or like TV or anything, it's gonna be the Queen's Gambit, right? Like, there's no way it's not the Queen's Gambit. That show got just such a huge amount of hype. It got so much love from like everyone in the film industry, like from your cinephile Martin Scorsese type to like the casual viewers. Like, it just had such an impact in such a short amount of time. It can't be anything else, right? It's gonna be the Queen's Gambit.
Well, I see it has your vote too. So Derek, what do you think?
I have something to say on all of these. The first one is Small Axe. I didn't. So Amazon had a bad year this year. They only had 2 shows that were getting good, which is not great. And Small Axe was one of those shows that snuck under the radar, and I wondered why. And so I looked it up. Turns out it's 5 movies, like feature-length movies, not just like made-for-TV movies, like feature-length movies, all set in London about being a Black person in London. And they're all directed by Steve McQueen. It's written and directed by Steve McQueen. So I now know why it went under my radar, because I was like, it's a bunch of movies. I don't care. But but also for Small Axe later on, John Boyega is also nominated for his role in one of these movies, which you might know him from that one franchise,
That's the tiny one?
Pacific Rim Uprising. Yeah, I had to look it up. Sorry. Anyway, let's going on. The Undoing was pretty bad, so I don't like it being here. And I actually have a list. I have a list of Snubs, and the limited series category has a bunch of them just because of it's a limited series. But like, it's the most phoned in shit I've ever seen. Like, it has like really good talent. It has David E. Kelly, it has Nicole Kidman, it has Lily Rabe, it has freaking Donald Sutherland, I think his name. Like, it has a bunch of really good actors. It even has it has the little boy from that movie where John Krasinski can't talk a whole lot. There's a bunch of good talent, and it's just like such a phoned in story that doesn't need asking. Also, it's like the most white people shit in the world. Like, at the end I'm gonna just spoil the ending because you shouldn't watch it. The ending is basically they're trying to find the dad who is on the run, because spoilers, he did kill them, and he takes his son in the car, and as a result they take helicopter, like it's a bunch of police and helicopters just flying to find this dad who is kidnapped his son. And I'm like, this is just like so like, I hate this so much. Anyway, okay. Third of all, Unorthodox. Because of this podcast, I actually started watching this, and it is very good, very depressing, very, very hurtful. I'm only 2 episodes in. I just started the 3rd episode earlier today. It's the story of this. It's in Yiddish, it's in German, and it's in English. It's about this she leaves a very, very culty Jewish community in New York, like a Jewish community where she's in an arranged marriage, and she flees to Berlin because she realizes she's pregnant, and she does not want her child's life, the life that she had for her child. And it's very fascinating. It's based off of like a real life story too, so it's based off a book. So it's just like incredible. Finally, you guys have already talked about the Queen's Gambit, but this one will be my pick for best limited series. It's Normal People, and because Normal People is incredible, because oh my god, this is just like it's like the best well written love story, because it's about people falling in and out of love, but also like the thing that I think this series does best is like it focuses on the period of time when they're not like in a relationship, when they're just like friends or distant friends, and they may not even like each other in the same way or in the most positive way, but it's about these 2 people growing towards each other. And it's like any coming of age, but it's just so well done. Yeah, anyway.
All right, so continue. 1 for Normal People and 2 for the Queen's Gambit.
And I'll talk about Queen's Gambit in the next category, so don't worry.
Which will be best performance by an actress in a limited series, anthology series, or motion picture made for television. Cate Blanchett in Miss America, Daisy Edgar Jones in Normal People, Shira Haas in Unorthodox, Nicole Kidman in The Undoing, and Anya Taylor-Joy in The Queen's Gambit. I mean, that's mine. I'm gonna go with my girl Anya because she absolutely slayed in that series. That's my vote. Nothing else.
Yeah, last episode I predicted that Anya Taylor-Joy is going to sweep. That she's been in this kind of simmering. She's starting to get big. She's starting to appear in more and more things, and she's starting to really hit the limelight. And a lot of times when you see young actors and actresses kind of in that, they usually kind of explode in an award season after a really notable role. And I think this is going to be her opportunity. I think she's going to sweep.
Yeah, that's.
I hope she does.
I have things to say on 3 of these. First of all, Cate Blanchett, Miss America. Miss America was a very good show, but and Cate Blanchett is excellent in playing Phyllis Schlafly. I hope I pronounced that right. Do you guys know about like all the things that people said about Miss America? Because it was a big show and people were expecting it to be sweeping awards, and then this sort of got out, and I'm not sure if it contributed to it dying down in terms of hype. But an essay, so if you don't know anything about the series, it's basically about the Equal Rights Amendment and about it's all about, and so basically Gloria Steinem is portrayed, and a bunch of other prominent feminists, and also Phyllis Schlafly. The series came under like it wasn't really a fire, but it got under some criticism because the show portrayed like there were 2 big points that Gloria Steinem pointed out. The first point was that it seemed like a lot of cat fighting, in the sense that it was a bunch of women just trying to argue about what's the best thing for a woman, and she Gloria Steinem didn't appreciate that sort of portrayal. Like it was more like it wasn't like arguments. It was just like we need to figure out the best way to do or get this sort of legislation to pass, essentially. And then the second point was that it was too white because it ignored the efforts made by the African American feminist community. And for those 2 reasons, I get why this show, like it after I read that essay, it certainly fell out of favor with me. But also I understand, because the show's not directly about the feminist movement. It's about this other woman who sabotaged the feminist movement by just kind of being a feminist in her own like different way. Like Phyllis Schlafly is like a diehard Republican who would do did and said awful things, but she did it. She wouldn't have been able to do it if she was truly oppressed, you know? So she did benefit from feminism, and she did everything in her power to sort of destroy it. And it's such a fascinating series, and I really wish we could view it in a better light. Second of all, Daisy Edgar Jones, Normal People. She is excellent, but also that means that there is a snub down the line for Paul Mescal, who played her opposite in the series, and I get so angry when I think about that. But yeah, like the 2 leads are so good for this show. But who I do think is going to win, because she is the face of this show, is Anya Taylor-Joy for the Queen's Gambit. Because like she you could like I would say normal, like it for me, for these 2 categories is Normal People and the Queen's Gambit. Normal People relies on the performance of the 2 leads. Unfortunately, but Anya Taylor, and Anya Taylor-Joy is the Queen Gambit. Like you can't, like, obviously there's a bunch of other stuff going on in the show. Like the cinematography is great, the writing is tight. This was really good performances by everyone else. But like you like Anya Taylor-Joy, Beth Harmon is the queen in the Queen's Gambit, and so you got to give it to Anya Taylor-Joy. Yeah, that's it. Bazinga. I did want to talk about some other shows because I do care about TV as a whole.
Okay. Hello. Okay. Which now goes into best performance by an actor in a limited series, anthology series, or motion picture made for television. Bryan Cranston in Your Honor, Jeff Daniels in The Comey Rule, Hugh Grant in The Undoing, Ethan Hawke in The Good Lord Bird, and Mark Ruffalo in I Know This Much Is True. I mean, I'm a huge fan of a lot of these actors. Actually all of them. So this sucks, but I'm gonna give it to our Hulk, Mark Ruffalo, just because I love Mark.
Ethan Hawke. It's good. Okay, first of all, The Good Lord Bird. Why is it not nominated for Best Limited Series? What? Like, oh my god! Like, so this one I didn't actually put on my top 10. It actually ended up creeping up over time because I just kept thinking about it, and like Ethan Hawke is a good reason for that. If you like, have you guys heard of The Good Lord Bird? It's a show about the abolitionist John Brown and how his actions basically led to the Civil War. Because like he was just like half of the show is Ethan Hawke screaming, and while I found it annoying at first, I actually found it quite compelling as the show kept going on. He is excellent. Joshua Caleb Johnson, who plays Little Onion, like that's his nickname. His character's not named. I forget his character's name, but he called Onion. I really kind of wish he was also nominated because he's also like Ethan Hawke is the driving force of the show, but Joshua Caleb Johnson's the heart of the show, and I do kind of wish it was Joshua Caleb Johnson instead. But it's still Ethan Hawke, pretty good. Yeah. Also, Hugh Grant didn't do that great.
Yeah, as I've heard from your opinions of the show. Faith, what do you think?
That's honestly, I have to do. It's a hard one, but when in the situation like this, I do what I always do, and I got to give it to the dude, which is Jeff Daniels.
Yes.
Oh God!
All
Did
right.
any of you actually watch that? I've been terrified to watch anything politics adjacent.
No, but
like, especially
also
like
the idea of Jeff Daniels playing James Coney is hilarious. He probably nailed it though. Although I also love Bryan Cranston and everything he does. So like, you know what? Malcolm's dad. We'll give it to Malcolm's dad.
Jeff Daniels was pretty good in that Netflix that miniseries on Netflix, the Western. I forget the name.
Oh yeah.
What's it called?
The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Oh no.
No, I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah. I feel bad for forgetting the name of this because I liked it a lot. It was my 7th favorite show of 2018. Anyway, let's move on.
So we've got one for Bryan Cranston, one for Ethan Hawke, and one for Mark Ruffalo. Dope. Best performance by an actress in a television supporting role. Gillian Anderson in The Crown, Helena Bonham Carter in The Crown, Julia Garner in Ozark, Annie Murphy in Schitt's Creek, and Cynthia Nixon in Ratched. I want to say Annie Murphy because, again, I'm a little bit Alexis. Love her. She was fabulous, but I know that Julia Garner did win the Emmy, and she's apparently super dope in Ozark. So that's who I'm giving it to.
Julia Garner's actually been an actress I've been keeping an eye on for a while. She was in a movie called I Believe in Unicorns, if you ever saw that. I saw it in a film festival, and it was fucking devastating. And so after that, she just randomly popped up on a TV show called The Americans, where she played another very difficult character. Like she's kind of like Ozark's kind of a departure, but I just sort of knew her as playing the underage girl who gets seduced by older men. It's just a really bad niche to be in. But then in Ozark, for the first 2 seasons, she was like the best thing in it, and so I don't blame you for giving it to Julie. I want to give it to Gillian Anderson. I actually wasn't too put off by her Thatcher interpretation. I thought like maybe
hold on. Gillian Anderson plays Margaret Thatcher?
Oh yeah, it is.
What?
Yes. How are Mulder and Scully going to solve this one?
How did that piece of Gillian Anderson just totally escape my radar?
Well, what's cool is her husband created the Crown. Oh wait, no, I think it's just they're just dating. So her boyfriend created the Crown. And so, but I actually think that she is actually kind of perfect for the role, just because I don't like some people thought it was a caricature of a performance or just like over exaggerated. I thought it was perfect, and I watched some clips of Maggie Thatcher, and I was just like, it's a good it's good for what the Crown demands of it. Like it's not overtly pretentious. It's just it just kind of seems like who Gillian Anderson was. It just seemed like who Margaret Thatcher was, and I thought Gillian Anderson did really good. So I'm going to give it to Jillian.
Dope. So we've got 2 for Jillian and 1 for Julia.
Woo!
Which brings us to our final category, the best performance by an actor in a television supporting role. John Boyega in Small Axe, Brendan Gleeson in The Comey Rule, Daniel Levy in Schitt's Creek, Jim Parsons in Hollywood, and Donald Sutherland in The Undoing. I'm giving it to Daniel Levy because or Daniel Levy, because I love David so much. He's such a good character. He goes through such a beautiful arc. And he just brings so much life into that character. I absolutely adore him. So he has my vote.
This is the first category where I actually haven't seen any of these.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Well, first off, I think we have to eliminate Brendan Gleason just because he played Trump, and like I'm sure he did. I don't want to give an actor a
award for playing Trump.
Fair enough.
Because it just that's too much. It's an indirect honor to the man himself. Like,
Trump should be praised. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. God. Anyway, I love Daniel Levy in Schitt's Creek. David, again, as Nala said, is such just a wonderful, beautiful character. But I'm gonna give it to John Boyega because I love John Boyega, and also just he's been putting up with so much just bullshit in the industry that it would be nice to see him get
so
a little bit of
Pacific Rim Uprising, though, right? It's a shame he hasn't done anything bigger than Pacific Rim Uprising, but we'll see. Like, I'm sure this will be the thing that gets him off the map. What's Star Wars? Okay. Anyway, I have 2 words for my nomination. Bazinga.
Really? Jim Parsons?
I haven't seen any of these. Why not? I don't want to give it to Donald Sutherland because I didn't like The Undoing.
That's fair. Okay.
So Jim Parsons. This is how bad you fucked up, David Kelly. I'm giving it to Jim Parsons over your shitty show.
As someone who has seen Hollywood, he did do a good job. But
that's good to hear.
he did a decent job. I mean, that show had a lot of problems in its own right. But again, I'm just gonna give it to Dan Levy because I absolutely adore him, and I'm excited for you to see what you think about Schitt's Creek when you finally watch it, because it's a delightful show, and he plays such a delightful character. So 1 for Dan Levy, 1 for John Boyega, and 1 for Jim Parsons.
Let me know when you want to do a Ted Lasso watch.
Yeah, sure thing.
All right.
And now that we have gone through all the nominations, Derek, if you want to talk to us about some snubs that you think happened. I guess I'll start off by saying The Boys was absolutely snubbed. Season 2 was a really well done show, or a really well done season, and a lot of good things in there. So that's one of my snubs.
I was put off by what I thought season 1 was, and I think a lot of people were, and I think in season 2 it's actually like found its focus. Is that correct? Would you say that's correct?
Well,
fair enough. Okay, I'll watch it. Jesus. I did want to talk about Fargo, which I thought was snubbed from the limited series category.
Oh, hang. Sorry.
I did want to briefly mention Fargo because I did think it was snubbed from the limited series category. I thought other than the last episode, it was a phenomenal show, and I do not get all the hate against it. Chris Rock was great. Jesse Buckley was great. It was just a good, well told show up until the last episode, and I do think that the last episode felt rushed and dragging at the same time because they were shooting it with like heavy limitations due to the pandemic. Just because it was a lot of slow motion shots and it only had music in the background for like 3/4 of the episode, and I was quite annoyed at it. But other than that, I thought it was a good show. The Good Lord Bird, I said it earlier, it was snubbed. I'm a little angry at that because I think it did get nominated for an Emmy, but it did not get a Golden Globe. So don't know what that was about. These shows I talked about. Devs also was a show that aired like pretty early in the year. I was kind of surprised that it also didn't get nominated. Like, you can only nominate 5, but Devs I felt had a pretty strong chance. I didn't think it was excellent, but I thought it stood a chance.
Another snub that I think is notable is the show I May Destroy You, made by Michaela Cole. That was actually the snub that caused Abby Govidan, the comedian who jokes about being the creator of Emily in Paris, to say, why the fuck were we nominated for a Golden Globe? I made it as a prank. Give it to I May Destroy You instead. But
I haven't watched it. I watched the first 10 minutes, and afterward, like, I was sort of, like, in midst of watching things casually, and so I was like, I stopped watching it, and I was like, I need to be in a better headspace before I watched it, and then I think I never left that headspace because pandemic, so I
yeah.
know I need to watch it, like, but look, Michaela Cole is often the best parts of a lot of the things she's in, even if it's a minor role, like that one
And
episode of Black Mirror.
yeah, but the show because she was the creator of this show,
Mhm.
and
Full creative control.
yeah, and it is just so beautifully empathetic. It's the whole show is about a rape victim who just kind of navigates becoming more of a public figure in the Me Too movement, and just kind of the relationship of her and her friends around her as they kind of navigate these just gray areas of the consent conversation. And it really kind of comes down to that we all have to like try the best that we can be to just be as radically empathetic to our
Oh,
fellow
wow.
human beings as possible.
Oh,
It
yeah,
is it is so good. It's also hilarious in moments. Like they do this it's a really good balance of comedy and drama. It knows when to tell the joke, and it knows when it needs to be serious.
yeah. Wow, like, everything I hear whenever I hear that show described, every time people talk about it, I think, "This isn't a comedy." But but apparently, if it is as effective as you say, like, then I get, you making many of the that makes sense, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to look at, to see if there's any other points that I wanted to talk about.
So we've gone through finally the entire list of the Golden Globe nominations, movies and TV, and I'm excited to see what ends up happening with it.
Got a topic that you think we should look at? You can comment on our Facebook page or send us an email at sirensdenpodcast@gmail.com.
Thank you to our great guest, Derek, for coming back to talk some TV shows with us. Derek, you got anything you want to plug?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Let me know when you guys want to do that Ted Lasso watch. I'm very curious how you edited that Ted Lasso segment because I was just yelling, I think. I uploaded a video to my YouTube channel. It's one of the videos in my not culinary channel surfing series where I basically give a quick ditty on a couple shows that I watch each month. This month I watched. I know we don't have to go into that, but like I watched 6 shows in the past months, and I have thoughts on all of them. That's it. I'll have one hopefully on time next time. I've been late on all of them.
Thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, it's fun. Like I yell at TV. It's the most fun shit in the world for me.
Well, be sure to catch future and previous episodes on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Well, thank you to Ty, our producer, and to Sean Thomas at fuzzstudio.com for our theme song.
We'll catch you next time.
Till then, stay safe, everyone. Bye.